If you know me at all, then you know that I am a huge proponent of flexible and remote work. But it is this same belief that has also caused me a few problems when I've tried to take a holiday. I'm 𝙤𝙤𝙣𝙪𝙩𝙚. I'm the founder of 𝙤𝙤𝙣𝙪𝙩𝙚 and the author of Homeforce, helping employers build connected and engaged remote teams. And what I learned on a recent 4-week trip to the beautiful Kimberley in Western Australia was quite a few lessons, aside from the fact that I would go back there in a heartbeat, that camping and traveling is not really a holiday. There were a few lessons as a business owner that I hope that can benefit you as well. Number one, it can be hard as a business owner to take a real break when you are very much hands-on in your business. You need to plan for that holiday with military precision. So working out as far as possible in advance, what you're handing over, what you're going to complete before you go, communicating the leave with your clients and with your team, and working out who's going to do what when you're away. Are you going to be contactable? Who should they contact if they need to contact someone and it can't be you? And who has the delegations and the permissions to do things like banking whilst you're away? And of course, making sure that you choose the right time, which I now know is probably best to be Christmas, not in the middle of the year at financial end of year time. The second lesson that I learned was that even the best laid plans will be interrupted to some extent. So whilst we knew about this holiday for a long time, we had talked about it, we had planned a handover, we had planned for contact hours when I would be available. We had planned for someone to be contactable when I was not. What we didn't plan for was the huge amount of work that came in the door right before I left. And the fact that all of us needed to be hands on deck to get that done as much as could be possibly done before I went on leave, which completely derailed the handover intentions. And of course, I hadn't completely planned for the fact that there were times when I was away on that Gibb River Road where there was absolutely no mobile reception. And so I just was not contactable. And we just didn't know exactly when. It was more to the point we didn't know when that was going to be. So we didn't know that it was going to be this day to this day was no contact, and on other days you could. It was just because the nature of the holiday was traveling, we never really were sure where we were going to be at different points in time. So it made it a little bit more disruptive on everybody. So the lesson from that was making sure that your team felt empowered and feel empowered to make decisions when you're not there, and that they feel safe to make those decisions, knowing that they're not going to have a business owner come back and say, well, why did you do it like that? And that's not how I would do it. The third thing that I learned is that you need to be really clear on the purpose of your holiday. Is it a holiday? Is it a pure rest and relaxation? Is it a big picture thinking holiday where you want to do some planning about your life or your business or whatever it might be? Is it actually a working holiday where you intend to be available as and when people need you, or at least at certain times? It's really difficult to have a break, which is all three of those things. And really what happens if you try to do that is you come home feeling like nothing was done properly. That whole idea of you tried to do everything and nothing was done to the best of your ability. So be really clear on what your intentions are. And once you know them, set the necessary boundaries in place to make sure that you can stick with that. So if you're thinking about a holiday, then I hope these tips have given you some ideas to make sure that it's the best one that it can possibly be. You might also be wondering, well, what happens when I've got an employee who says to me, I want to go on holiday and I want it to be a working holiday, or a workcation as some people are calling it these days? How do you handle that? That's a whole nother topic, and I'll be dealing with that in a blog post, so keep an eye out for it. If you want to know when it's coming, or you want to know when the next video will be, then you can subscribe to YouTube, or you can get in touch with us at hello@3dhrlegal.com.au.